So I'm pretty sure everyone has gotten at least, one, maybe two ass beatings growing up. But I want to know, what's the worst one you've ever gotten? Today, I'm going to tell you the story of the worst ass beating I ever gotten. And this is a good one, so I'm going to need y'all to stay in tune for it. But hold on, wait a second. Before we get into the story, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe, man. I need you to, man. It supports the channel, keeps me going. Even, you feel me? Just do it. It don't take that long to do. Just leave one. And also, before that, how are you doing today? Are you doing good? You doing fine? Everything good? And if it isn't, say something in the comments. Let's have a conversation. I want to hear about it. But let's finally get into this story now. So this story goes back to around the 6th grade. It was either 6th or 5th grade. I had a lot of BS going on around that time, so I either got in trouble a lot or like a lot of bullshit like in school was happening. And let's just say I wasn't really the best of students, right? I was decent, but I would always get in trouble. Like, you feel me? It was terrible. But through all that, I did something stupid. I did something real stupid. I got suspended from school. And if you want the actual story of what I did and how I got suspended, I'll tell that for another time. This is about the aftermath of what happened with that day, because the aftermath was insane. So back in middle school, I used to take the bus to my grandma's house after school. I didn't take the bus to my house. And I forgot what was the reason why we did it, but I ended up getting taken out of class and getting suspended. And they made me sit in ISS, in school suspension, for the whole day. And I was able to take the bus home. So I took the bus home and I went to my grandma's house, and I was avoiding everyone. The whole family knew what happened, and they knew I got suspended. And I had other cousins and family that was going to be at the house, so I knew for a fact that I was going to see my cousins, my aunts, and my uncles at some point and sometime later on in that day. And when I walked through the door to get to my grandma's house, the look my grandma gave me was just like, you fucking idiot. And my grandma doesn't give me looks like that often, but she just looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. And might I add, that entire bus ride, I was keeping my cool, and then the closer and closer I got to that house, the more and the more I started to lose my cool, because I knew what was gonna happen when I got home. I just knew it. I knew there was no chance that when I walked through my grandma's door, some shit wasn't gonna happen. Luckily for me, my uncle, who lived with my grandma at the time, wasn't home, and that gave me a big sigh of relief, because I was thinking, he's not here, so maybe he's not gonna be home later, because usually when he's not there, he doesn't come back for a few days because he's with his girlfriend. So I'm all like, I bet, we chilling, we cool, I'm fine, I ain't gotta worry about shit. At the most, I'm gonna have to just worry about my mom, and that's it. Boy, was I fucking wrong. I had a lot more problems than I was wrong as fuck. My uncle came home like an hour later, and he looked at me. He came and found me, because I would always, every time I'd get home from school from my grandma's house, I would go in the back room, because we had a front room and we had the back room. We called it the black room, and we would go, and I went in there and I went to sleep. I took a nap, and about an hour later, my uncle came home and said, "Where is he?" And my eyes opened with the quickness, because I heard him come through the door, and I heard him close the door, and I heard him say, "Where is he?" So right after that, my grandma tells him that I'm in the back room, asleep. And he calls my name, and I come into the front room. And he was like, "So you mind telling me why you got suspended?" Now, at this point in time in my life, I was getting in trouble a lot, but I never really got suspended yet. I had a few in-school suspensions, but I really never got too in trouble for those, and a few detentions, but nothing actually missing school type beat. I haven't had anything like that happen to me yet. So up until about that point, my uncle would do this fear tactic, and he'd give us an option of what he wanted us to use. And I don't know if anybody else had parents who did this or relatives who did this, where they give you an option, but you should never pick the smallest, lightest option, because if you do, they're gonna pick something bigger and stronger, and it's gonna hurt a lot more. I actually tested the theory, and one time gave him something heavy, and he actually switched it around. But this time I didn't think like that, because I was so fucked in the head that I was like, I don't know what to pick. So he told me to go outside and get the switch. Now, I don't know if anyone knows what a switch is, but the switch is a small branch off of off some bushes. And the thing is, that's what they used to use to beat us. It's been passed down through generations. When we had an ass whooping, that's what they used. It happened to my mom, it happened to him, it happened to all of my aunts and uncles and older cousins, because that's what it did. It even happened to my grandma. That's what my grandma used to use when she got beat by her and grandma when she was acting up. So it got to the point to where I go outside, I grab the switch, I grab the smallest, thinnest one that I can, and come back inside. I go back inside and give him the switch, and he looks at me and he says, "You sure you want to do this?" He's like, "You sure?" He was like, "You really gonna do this?" He said, "Cause you know what's gonna happen." And I said, "Yeah, I want to do this." And he said, "Okay, cool. Go upstairs and wait." I go upstairs and wait. This motherfucker comes upstairs with a big ass piece of bro, the switch I gave him and the one he came upstairs with was completely different, bro. Like, when I seen the switch he had, it put fear in my fucking heart. It put absolute fucking fear. Like, I felt like I wasn't gonna make it out of this. Like, it was insane. It wasn't even long, it was just thick. So I knew it was gonna pack a punch. Like, I knew that, like, once this was over, I wasn't gonna be able to sit down for like a week. And yeah, let's just say I learned my lesson after that, because nigga, I couldn't sit down properly for a few days. But yeah, so that's the story of the worst ass beating I ever got. And can I honestly say I deserved it? Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I definitely can say I deserved the ass whooping. And I definitely did learn from that experience of what happened, because it still fucked that teacher though, but I definitely learned that experience and became a better person. But if you made it this far in the video, man, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you liked it, experiencing my pain. And if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really helps. I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a good day. Peace.